So I got some more information from Dr. Mercola's website, which I'll leave the link. Um, and he got some information by Dr. Pickering, who followed this food combining. And what he says, what Dr. Pickering says, is your body has a natural instinct towards health, which I believe. Um, and by following certain natural principles, you allow your body to do what it does best. This is the principle of this program: is to you're actually learning to listen to your body, and it's like your body's directing you, not your mind. Um, you're healthy by design and sick by default. You don't catch disease, you earn it. This is what Dr. Pickering says. So health is really important as getting rid of stuff as opposed to what you're putting in. And even though supplements will be better, they can't help when you've got a poor diet. And this is what people tend to do. So nutrition doesn't heal, it doesn't cure, it doesn't do anything. It's a science and it never changes. But what it is four principles: digestion, absorption, assimilation, and elimination. And those are also the functions of your skin, you know. So the four principles of wholesome nutrition is eating foods in season, because your constitution changes with the seasons of your local climate. Eating local foods when they're in season is a natural way to harness that intrinsic relationship with your body has with the earth. Seasonal foods are cheapest when they're in season, and it's like a resonance, a synergy with your body. Eating foods that are indigenous to your area. So again, why eat something that doesn't, an exotic fruit from China or the West Indies? It's okay because it's in your DNA, but if you don't live there, it's going to impact on how you digest, because of the climate. Remember, the climate is different. Third, you should select foods according to the type and amount of physical activity you're involved in. So, an office worker will not benefit from what a triathlete does. This is what the website says. And you want to choose foods according to your body's chemistry. Um, and it also talks about your thoughts, which I always say is that when you eat, do not talk about problems at the dinner table or not think about it. And I'm really conscious. Sometimes we go out to dinner with friends and we eat and we discuss negative stuff. And then what happens is we have trouble digesting because we've been gossiping. We've just digested all that stuff which we've tried to pull out. That's why, you never have food when you're having counselling. Talk about joyous things because it gives you a chance. That's what they're saying. And if you want to make food taste better, perform a ritual. I know when I used to date a guy that belonged to a specific spiritual order, he would always bless his food and do a little meditation before he ate. And I also think when you're cooking, being mindful of what you're putting into your body. When you're dressing food and you're making food look really nice, it's always being mindful. So again, lighting a candle in the kitchen or just having really lovely quotes in the kitchen will help enhance that atmosphere. I love my kitchen because it brings about like a little creative type kitchen, and it's really important. Um, People who give thanks before they eat tend to eat more slowly and savour the meal more than those who do not. And so it has an impact on digestion. You're blessed in the food. He also talks about food commandments, which is exactly the same thing. No starches and proteins at the same meal. They neutralise each other. Wait 2 hours before eating a starch and a protein. No fruits and vegetables at the same meal. Fruits are either single or double sugar, whereas starches are more triple sugar. Fruits mechanically break down in your stomach, but they don't break down until they reach the fourth stage, which is, again, I'll post on the website link. Um, and do not eat dessert after, which we know because it takes, a long time to digest the sweet stuff. Um, so it will give you an upset stomach, and it does. I eat all my fruits before. Try to, not all the time. Try to eat my fruits before I'm actually doing, a diet. I'm going to just save the video. I try to eat my starches before I'm actually, not my starches. Sorry, I try to eat my fruit before I eat food because this reduces the bloating. Not all the time you can do this. So and it says about eating melon alone because it doesn't digest with any food. So some of us have our smoothies with melon in it. It's better off doing it on, without. Um, So again, there's more things that you can eat. Morning meal should be the least concentrated. So it's good for fruits, so good for your smoothies. More complex foods in the daytime because that's your power time. Um, so we have our carbs. I tend to have a lot more starchy foods in the middle of the day. With winter, I've noticed I was leaning towards more starchy foods, but I'm trying to balance that out. I really get bad upset stomach. Um, so very good. Evening is very, very good to eat your proteins. Um, so it's the best time to eat when you're eating your proteins, and it's really good as well because you'd have had your carbs, which are digested slowly, which will give you certain amount of sugar for your exercise. By evening, you would have used up a lot of your protein anyway, so that will help you digest, and it's probably take 2 hours. So remember I said about your food chart and the times that you should eat. Sorry about this video. The times that you should eat. So ideally, if you people go in for 3 o'clock if they work for themselves. But if you're eating at say 6 o'clock, um, it's that's good because you've got 8 o'clock your food is digested. Um, but if you're eating later, it's digesting when you should be resting, and that's why we get the food problems. So it would be better to eat something um, more lighter in the evening. That's gonna not digest so quick. That's why a lot of people with flat stomachs will have fruit and stuff like that. Um, Oftentimes, when you are um, trying to eat more starches, you could have an overgrowth of yeast or candida sometimes, where it needs to feed itself. But I'll cover that in another time. Um, I've com- I've left gonna do a PDF so you can print out the food combining chart. Again, work with it. What happens? Use it to see what happens with you. Um, Again, using it for your smoothing and juicing. If you're too clogged up with your juicing, remember I've said this before. Go back to your green juices, and but do your research because every single diet has got its own meaning and own self, or own information. And but I do think there's so much in that. Um, but I think you do whatever you can, and I think if you're in a place where it's more warm and you can process all of those stuff, um, like you're sweating and you're eliminating, then you can eat what you want because there's cases of people that eat what they want, but their elimination is really good. But most of us are getting more and more sensitive. So do your research, maybe look at the information that I've provided, and perhaps just try it for a couple of days and let me know how you get on. Obviously, if you've got diabetes and you've got some kind of medical information, um, some kind of medical condition, just be careful. So I wouldn't try it yet, unless you're going under the guidance of a nutritionist. Okay? Marilyn Fontaine signing off. Bye bye.